We went to go see Wicked the other night. 3 hour movie. You've listened to all the songs. I assume you've seen the Broadway musical, right?
I am a big musical theater nerd. I love musical theater. I have not had the chance to see Wicked in its entirety live, or like seen the actual like musical. But I have listened to the whole soundtrack multiple times. I have also seen like certain songs, like the more popular songs, acted out like through clips. Like I've seen the Defying Gravity scene, I've seen popular, like the ones that are the most
Mhm.
well known in Wicked. But I've never seen the full thing live, or like at least the full thing. But I to what I know, they stayed really true to like the original adaptation, like the musical adaptation of it. Um and also Wicked, the musical, is based off of a book. So this is a movie based off of a musical off of a book. And the book, they're not super accurate to the book, but the movie is for the most part like very accurate to the actual like stage performance, which I really appreciated. I felt like I was watching like a step above like a musical performance. um I thought the acting was really well. I thought um I was seeing a lot of mixed reviews on like how Ariana Grande was acting versus like how she was singing. And I thought like she sung like really well. Like I had never heard her sing this way, because for people that don't know, singing like pop music or like singing another type of genre of music is very different from musical theater. Like it's a very different technique that you have to use to like sing for the stage versus like in a studio or like at a concert. Like it's a very different vocal style. So I'd never heard her sing this way outside of like hearing her like her normal shit. Um and Glinda, her character is a very like, she's a soprano, which is like the highest voice that you can have as a woman. And her like songs can get very like operatic. Like she has like a lot of like um opera-esque tones to her voice, where she kind of like has a lot of like that type of vocalization. I had never heard her do that. She was like phenomenal. She had like a lot of like whistle tones in there as well. It was really really nice. And like as far as her acting, like it didn't like, it wasn't bad per se. Glinda's character is very like ditzy, airheaded. So like it didn't, her acting didn't take away from that, because I know how Glinda's supposed to behave, I guess. And I thought she had really good chemistry with I'm just trying to remember her name. Uh the actress that played
Alphaba,
Elphaba, the actress that played Elphaba,
Cynthia Erivo.
Cynthia Erivo, yeah. I thought they had really good chemistry, as they should, because their characters turn into best friends. Um so yeah, her like I thought it was really, really, really good. What did you think?
Yeah, I think to kind of bring it into anime, um, I thought that the Wicked world building I thought was pretty cool. I
Yeah.
I think every time that they zoomed out and they showed the world of Wizard of Oz and they showed the different like creatures and what was going on outside of it, I thought it was really cool. Definitely reminded me of like an isekai sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was I
Technically,
was
Wizard of Oz is an
technically it is.
isekai. It is an
Technically it
isekai
is.
for both Oz the wizard, because he gets blown from our world to Oz, and for
Oh,
like
spoilers.
Dorothy. Sorry.
Spoilers.
That's how he gets there. Uh,
I didn't know
yeah.
that.
Sorry.
Now I know.
Maybe
I
maybe
figured.
you
I
and
was
I should
putting it together.
watch. Maybe you and I should watch Oz the Great and Powerful.
I was putting it together. Yeah, I thought that I liked a lot of that. I liked the animals like stuff that they had going on. I thought that that
Mhm.
was really cool how they were slowly being taken away, especially in the beginning of the movie where they had Elphaba had a breakdown where she used her powers and broke a bunch of stuff, and the clock where it was covered up with the wizard broke, and it was
Mhm.
animals up there, and I was like, oh, what's gonna happen with that? Um.
Mhm.
And every single time they brought up the animal crap, I was like, "Oh man, this is the most interesting part of this. Get back to that. Let me see more of that shit. Let me talk about the world, talk about the politics of Wizard of Oz. Was there a wizarding war? Like what was happening with this? I thought it was really cool. Um, the only thing I think because, I'm so fucking anime brain rotted, I was just thinking to myself, why isn't there more training with Alphaba? Why aren't we seeing more of this control your power? Why aren't we seeing like actual levels to her rising up in powers? They just simply talked about her learning levitation. They didn't
And
actually show her like doing any of that stuff.
mhm.
All we've seen is
And
her, blow up and do that up
like
to
I
that point.
think in part like that was because they only had one purpose for her. Like they didn't see her as anything else than like a scapegoat and like a ploy for their own like means of like further animal control. And like that, I've also seen a lot of discourse online about how people that were like unfamiliar with like how wicked like goes, I guess. Like they didn't know that it was like very political and it's in like an allegory for like
Right.
politics. Like it's talking about something. Like it's
Yeah.
using the world of the Wizard of Oz to speak about bigger issues. And
Yeah. Well,
like I
before you get too far, like into that, yeah, because I want to bring it to that in a little bit before you dive into it. Hold on.
so,
I do want to yeah, yeah. Hold on, because I do want to dive into that a little bit, but I just want to like finish my point with
sorry.
like with them teach like so at the end of the whole movie they reveal what you just said about them being an enemy and whatnot. I don't feel like the seeds were laid for her to like even be on their
Okay.
side one time. And it was
Mm-hmm.
like if you're training this person and Galinda is jealous of this person getting one-on-one treatment with like Mad and Morrible. We see it in like some of the montage, a little bit of them like she's reading a book or something like that. I just didn't really see the sculpting of this power lead into them being like, yeah, she's the one. Besides her freaking out and blowing up, like not blowing up, but like using the force,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
unhinged using the force. If your whole plot was to use her to control people or use her to read this the ancient texts, like you would have thought there would have been something else there. And that's just my anime brain being like, where's the training arc? Like where is the part where she is learned how to move the coin, not just be this angry Sith Lord? Like it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't just because she's not evil. Like
No. And
she's not
that's
evil. And I think that's like the
mm-hmm.
point. But like they didn't
Mm-hmm.
no, at least not yet. I don't know. You don't stop spoiling things.
I'm not gonna
Um
talk. Okay, I will say before you continue that this movie it is gonna be a two-part movie, and musicals are mainly
yeah.
split into Act One and Act Two. So this first movie was Act One, so I'm not gonna
Yeah,
talk about
yeah.
Act Two.
Yeah. Like there was just for me personally, I would I'm like how again because I'm anime brain rotted. I was simply like, where is the training arc? Where is
Mm-hmm.
the part where she is getting these powers and learning how to,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like we saw Madame Morble move the weather, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we know that there are people who can actually use magic in this world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like magic exists because Elphaba knows how to use magic, and we
Mm-hmm.
see in the beginning of the movie, Glinda uses bubble magic. I don't even know, maybe that's all fucking fake too, but like it's just it's just like I don't know, man. Like I wish that there would that there's real magic where you read the sacred text and you're able to do this sort of thing. I wish there would have been like a level set of what the peak of magic is for me to
Mm-hmm.
be able to see where she is in terms of because it's like all she's done so far is move shit around and then give some fucking monkey some wings and
Mm-hmm.
fly, you know?
I do get you. And I will say that they do rely heavily on like Elphaba's like display of raw talent, like unhoned talent, to make you like to like drive the sense that like she is like super powerful, and it's dangerous that she doesn't know how to like control it since it's so tied to her emotional state, you know. Um and I will also say, like, spoilers, Oz is not, he's not a real wizard. He does not have magic. Um, so to these people, they don't like know that other than like Madame Morble, you know? So like they're all taught that like Oz is so great. He's so like such a powerful wizard. He read their sacred texts and whatever. That's why he's in like the position of power that he is. And he's like through like word of mouth, like all of the things that he's quote like done, that's like the standard. Like if you can be like Oz, then you're set. Like you're so powerful. Like he is the peak. But as like it progresses, like you understand that Madame Morble is like a very like renowned like sorceress. Like that's why Glinda wants to train with her so badly, because she's good. Like she can control the weather. Like she's such a good witch, sorceress, whatever. Um, so for Alphaba to like have like such raw talent and then to be handpicked by Madame Morble, and then like all of their like true nature, like her true like intentions with her aside, that like I can understand um Glinda's like discontent, I guess you should say. And I think it like also talks a lot about how if Alphaba didn't look the way that she did, like would she still have been the scapegoat? Would she still have been like um could she have been greater than Oz? You know, like could she have been the like would her position have been excuse me, better or different if she herself didn't look different? It's all interesting stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not super huge music. I'll watch musicals. I don't really care for them, but I'm not like a connoisseur like you are. Uh, but I could see where they're going with the story. I liked a lot of the songs. The only part that I mean, it was I just don't like 3 hour movies, so it's probably my biggest thing about it. Like I'm a big like superhero fan. I dislike the Batman's 3 fucking hours. I think that is a stupid long movie. Dislike that there's an intermission for Titanic. I just think that that is crazy. Uh, I liked a lot of the songs in it. There was only a couple parts where I was like, "What the fuck is that? Why does nobody give a shit about those animals?" Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like nobody gives a
Mm-hmm.
fuck about these animals. And it's like I get the slowly but surely the they've I wish they would have gone more into hammering it into like why the animals aren't
Me
being taught
too.
anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Why how we've reached this point because it's like it seems like I mean this is in my opinion it looks very much like World War II what Germany was doing in terms of like uh taking out people of power who were certain races and doing what they
Oz
did to the
mentions
Jewish
this.
people. And they do that sort of thing. It's very obvious. At least my opinion. That's what's looking like. So it's the same thing that I feel about with like Attack on Titan. It's like, just commit, man.
It
Just commit.
comes full circle. I
You
mean,
know, it's just
to be fair, Oz does mention this. He says when where he's from in our world, it's customary to point the blame on somebody else and make them problem, which is what happened in World War II with
Yeah, no, exactly.
Germans and the Jews. So like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
That's
Whereas in
where like
like
I wish
that's what I was gonna
but
say. Like, whereas in Attack on Titan, they don't mention that. Like, at
yeah.
least here, he was actually like, yeah, this is what I'm going for.
Yeah. Well, less on like what he said and more about laying the foundation for where that why
Mm,
that becomes such a bigger
mm-hmm,
talking point and why
mm-hmm.
it becomes the focal point of who Elphaba is at the end of this show or end of this movie because it's like, that's a big fucking deal. But we take a giant fucking detour to the for them to go fucking dance at a ball and have her do like a stupid dance. And it's like, I
Yeah,
get
that
it.
was that was a long time for her
Like
to
I get
just.
it, but I know it's so stupid. No offense. Like whatever. Like I think that that was probably the worst part of the movie because you witness these people having a fucking underground railroad conversation, and you're gonna straight up just be like, I'm gonna go like stop. Like stop. I wish there would have been a moment there where she's like looking through books and seeing like as it's progressing, we would have seen more just laying and then being caught by like Madame Morrible or something like that, and then laying the seeds for how that turns out later. Because all we get to see is
Mm-hmm.
Madame Morrible be like, "Here's a wand, Galinda. Your bestie gave you this one." It's I don't know, man. A part of that is just and I know there's a whole second part to this, but if you're doing a fucking 3 hour movie, it's like, fuck, man. I know you gotta leave some stuff for the next 3 hour fucking movie. Like,
Yeah, I it does make me wonder like how long um part two or like act two is gonna be because like I said, this played very much like the original musical. And in act one, it ends with Defying Gravity. Spoilers, Defying Gravity is the very last song you are going to hear because that is the final song of act one. Um so it like yeah, I it makes me wonder if it's gonna be as long or close to it to
yeah,
to see how much they're going to pack in there. Usually as far as like musicals go, usually the first act is going to be the longest because they're trying to jam pack all of the like world building, all of the like so you understand like what's going on. A lot of like the heavier musical numbers are going to be in the first act. And then the second act you're just going to be tying up loose ends. The story's going to progress to its climax. Usually they like stop at the climax. Defying Gravity is like the climax, and then you're just going to get the steady like closing of how the story's going to end. So I would guess that the second movie isn't going to be as long. Definitely not 3 hours. I will still say definitely the 2 hour, a little over that for sure, but it's definitely not going to be as long as this.
yeah. And again, like I know classic, like whatever, I'll just fucking say it. Like, I feel like the musical part got in the way of the good story that was being told here a lot. Like, I know it's a fucking musical. I know. You tell me to shut the fuck up in the
musical
comments. I don't
musicals
get.
they the whole point of a musical is
I
the
know.
plot progresses through song. So
I
it's
know. I get it. I get it. This is not me being blind to the fact of what I watched as a musical and why am I complaining that they were singing songs in a musical. I get it. I get it. So I'm not dumb. I get it. Like it's just I think that there was a story there that I enjoyed a lot more than what we got. And if like I want to see the Kai version of this. Like, I want the cutting of a lot. If they were, I don't mind all the songs. I just think that that ball gown section could be
I
completely
also
cut
hate
out.
I hate that segment. Like when I'm listening to the soundtrack on my own, I usually skip it. I don't like Fiero's like let's just dance. Life's a dance. I also
Yeah,
don't
you
really
can
like
cut out.
Fiero's character that much. But
You can cut out
um
that part. You can cut out the library dance. Um, because
yeah,
I almost
Fiero's
feel like that
song,
would have been,
yeah.
yeah, that would have been a good part to show what the fuck they're learning. What the hell is going on? What does the curriculum look like? Because they're not teaching magic. They're tell you what. Um, don't know what's going on. It's just I don't know. There's a lot of parts there where I wish there would have been
Yeah.
more world building to see and then this is just nitpicking. This is on the actual like acting or anything. I thought that Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo had really great chemistry together. I thought
Mhm.
that to pull off a story where you have such tandem, you need to have a lot of comedic timing. And I didn't
Mhm.
think that Ariana Grande had that up to this point. I know
That's
she had
fair.
Disney,
Yeah,
but
that's super fair.
I thought that she had really good comedic timing in this. I thought that her
She was also a Nickelodeon kid.
mannerisms, yeah, I know, but like I thought that her uh her mannerisms were very well timed, and I thought that she
Mhm.
was genuinely funny in this.
Mhm.
I thought that Alphaba played, or not Alphaba, but I thought the Cynthia Erivo played a good, and not necessarily straight man, but an ability to play like the outcast nerd who is only outcast because whatever.
Very
And
standoffish, a very like
yeah,
guarded character.
and I thought that that came off really well. Uh, you know what? I don't think Michelle Yeoh did a bad job, but I just don't think that that was as impactful of a performance as you could have had out of somebody who's kind of like the overarching moving the plot forward type of thing. I thought that she was kind of in the background, and I don't know if that's just what her character is, but it just didn't really hit for me.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily think that's because of her, but I think it's just in the
it's
moments
the
that
way
she
the
was allowed
character's
to
written.
like, yeah, and I think it's just I don't know, it just didn't really pop for me. I think the person that was supposed to pop that wasn't Elphaba and Glinda was supposed to be the Wizard of Oz, and it's just Jeff Goldblum talking, and I really didn't like him at all. I thought that he was just him, and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
care.
like, I do like. I also think that Jeff Goldblum could have done a little bit more, like acting, because in the musical, um, Oz is a very like grandiose character. Like he's a showman.
Yeah.
Like that's what
He could have
he
been more whimsical.
also, yes, that's what I'm trying to get at, because like also spoilers, as we all know, Oz is fake. He is just a plain old human. um Before he came to Oz, he was a like a con man, like a showman, like a con guy, like circus
Yeah.
guy, like that type. So I would expect his like character to have, also if you hear my dog crashing out, you don't. um I would expect his character to act a little bit more grandiose, because he is performing. At any
Yeah.
time that he is in front of people, he is performing, he is putting on an act, he's putting on a show. So like, not to say that, like, because I do think Jeff Goldblum was a good pick because he has like that tonality when he speaks, but I think that he could have like a little bit more than what we gave. But I do think that
Yeah.
he like was a good pick for Oz. He just I needed a little bit more. Um
Yeah.
because I'm also basing it off of the musical. Um
Yeah. I think it was like between him and like I thought that Jonathan Bailey playing Furio, I say it?
Fiero.
Yeah, Fiero. I thought that Fiero was good up until the part where he needed to um hang out with Elphaba in the forest. And I was like, all right, I know you're trying to show a different kind of emotion than what the character was, but like he was way too theater kid for me, and it came off as like kind of fake when you got to that part. And I was like, I don't,
You
you
see,
lost
like,
me
and
here. You
as
lost me
somebody
here.
that has seen a lot of like musicals, I've acted in musicals, like I I didn't mind it. Like I didn't even think anything of it, because like that's there's like a
Yeah,
way to act, you know, and there's like a way to sing in like musical theater. So I wasn't any like the wiser. Um, but I also just don't like Fiero's character, like
yeah,
personally. So
yeah. I've taken a lot of like I don't know movie
I will
studies.
slut shame Fiero till I die. And
I've
only
taken a lot of
Fiero.
like movie like thematics and movie structure and like movie studies and it's not make me a fucking like god when it comes to understanding acting. 'Cause I didn't take acting classes. I just watch it how it plays out for me and how it played out for me was I thought that he played
Yeah,
that
no, I get you.
fun, whimsical sort of like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, pay attention to me, like Ariana Grande
I'm a
type.
prince.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Disney prints very well, but I think when it
Hmm.
came to like the intimate moments where it was very acting heavy, where you needed to like
Yeah.
very much
Hmm.
win you over in terms of what emotions he was feeling, I was like, nah, you didn't do it for me, buddy. Like it
Yeah, I
was
get you.
he was like, I gotta go, run into the forest, and then went jumped away.
Yeah, he just exited stage right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
get
all
you.
right, thank God that's over because that sucked.
I do get you. And
Yeah.
I thought that's the one thing I did think the same thing of. Like he's like, and he like did like the
Yeah.
theater turn.
Yeah. I
I'm
also
like,
kind
damn,
of
that was his
like
cue.
or sort of. I kind of wish that there was more, he saves the cat, right? And he obviously has there was feelings there for him, but I wish there would have been a
He
scene.
started thinking.
Yeah. So I thought it was kind of that's funny, right? That's funny. But I wish there would have been one more scene with instead of that stupid fucking ball scene, you could add more time into like him talking with his horse
Yeah,
because his horse
I
talks,
I
like he
think
has there's more to
yeah.
his character than just that.
I think my biggest critiques would definitely be that like for people that um don't know like the musical, I think there like it would have been really good to have a little bit more background on like the animals and like how it was before Oz and stuff like that, like versus what Oz tells us and stuff. And like, and it's not to say
Yeah.
that we won't like get more detail in the second act, but like as of right now, like I think it would have been good to have a little bit more of that or like add in those scenes of like Elphaba like doing her own research or like what have you, because those things are not in the musical, but I think that they would have been good to have in a movie adaptation so that there's a little bit more context for that, because like in a musical like you're just seeing like there's not time for that, but like for a movie if it was already gonna be like 3 fucking hours, like why not just
Yeah.
add like a little scene of Elphaba like flipping through a book or something, or like
They
maybe
kind
having
of
her
do.
or
That's
maybe
the part.
having her
Like they
spend a little
kind
more
of do, but they
time
don't.
with the doctor, the goat. Um,
Yeah. Peter
but
Dinklage, yeah, hanging out with Peter Dinklage, the goat. Yeah.
yeah. But like so like I think that was my biggest like critique is that I think it would have been nice to see in a movie adaptation of it. Um, I thought the
What would you give it
cinematography was really
as a
good.
good?
Sorry, I just in like passing, I thought the cinematography was really really good in the movie too.
Yeah, I thought I thought it was fine. I thought that it looked pretty good. I thought that
Mm-hmm.
there was no moments where I was like, oh, taken out by what they were showing me. I thought what they showed me wanted me to learn. Like I'm almost interested enough to go look on YouTube what happens. And I think that that's a win in in any book
Let's go
to
see
get me.
the real Wicked. Let's go see it on Broadway.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Uh. I don't know. It's. I don't know. I think the thing that brings it down for me is that if there's a whole scene that I just want to cut out because you didn't do enough for other characters, I think that that brings it down a lot. And it's already long as shit, so it's like, and this isn't even me bitching to just bitch. It's like I don't know. Uh, that's just the only part that I'm like, whatever. Um, I thought that the end was good. I really liked the ending of the movie. I thought that that was really cool. Her like reading the sacred text and the monkeys. I don't know why they're blue. Um, were they weren't blue before?
Yeah, I'm like I haven't seen The Wizard of Oz in like years. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't
But
know,
I don't know.
girl. But
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll turn different color later on. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe she got a little funky with it. Uh, Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't 3 hours and they cut out certain things and they added more narrative to what was going on to really fuel the fire to what's going to happen in the next one, that maybe I'd like a little bit more. Like, I think I would give this like I give it like a B minus. It's fine. It's cool. I just don't like. I don't know. Nothing wrong with all the acting. I think there were acting choices that weren't there. It's a B minus because I have interest in the story, not necessarily the characters.
That's fair.
What do you think?
I would say I would give it an A. I would not get it wouldn't be an A plus for me because of like the things we discussed. Um, but I absolutely loved it. Like I haven't wanted to engage with like musical stuff in a very long time. And like when we got back into the car, we were with a group and I was like, y'all mind if I just listen to my musicals? Because I've wanted to just listen to it and like sing along and like engage with that content again. And like I have not touched it in a very, very long time. So I really, really enjoyed it. I'm really excited to see the second part and to see kind of like how it ends. Cause again, I know for the most part what happens, but I've never seen it. Um, so I'm really excited. I thought it was pretty good. I loved the like in the little like homage to Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth, the original Glinda and Elphaba. They also made appearances in the movie. Um, I, it just like in the heart. It's really nice for me. Definitely, and I would absolutely go watch it again because I don't mind really long movies. So
I would.
I would, I would go see it again, and I am planning to see it again. So
Happy for you.
thank
Truly,
you,
truly happy for you.
thank you.
What do you guys think? You think about Wicked?
The
I tried to bring it back.
the short conversation that was supposed to be for Wicked.
Uh, I, I, I tried to make it anime for you, so if you're so that way I could name the title. Would Wicked be a good anime? Question mark. Wicked review.
Sorry if we lost you, gang.
That's
Sorry.
that's gonna be that's gonna be the title. Um. Anyway, let us know what you think about Wicked in the comments below, and while you're down there, leave a like, subscribe.